Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching. What's going on, freakazoids? Man, that video I put out earlier hardly has any views at all. Pretty wild, pretty wild. And everybody who watches it likes it. It's just one of those YouTube algorithms. Pretty crazy, pretty crazy. Well, anyways, we got 99 people watching now. I was hoping to get more in here because I'd like to have people call in tonight regarding the, what they've seen and what they're thinking about this case. For me, I was just on Court TV. I don't know if you guys saw it, but right, everybody liked it, but nobody. I mean, you got to share my video. Like, go out and share it all over the place, and so we can get my videos seen more, because I don't just make random videos that aren't worth something. There's people that just do these ones where they just stare at the screen and they just blab on and on and on like that. I actually take the time to make a video, try to do something that makes sense. Good show this afternoon. That was actually it wasn't a show, it was a video, like a premiere video. Alright, so if you guys have questions, you can send in super chats with questions. If you want to call in, we'll do the call-in show. I don't have any mixed feelings about Stephan Stearns, but I was kind of wondering, I do wonder if, if he's on Telegram, those guys, if they find out who you are, they can blackmail you, so that then he might have been, even though he's already doing his sexual, stuff, CSAM. I wonder if they got a hold of him and then they wanted him to create I don't know what the hell, to be honest with you. It's just sort of an out there theory that doesn't really have much of a chance of being reality, but something I was thinking about, like he was blackmailed too to do that, to make a snuff film of Maddie, and then he had to send it to Telegram, because that's what they do there to girls too. But I'm wondering if they could actually do it to one of the, I don't know, that might be a code that they don't do, because then who would want to share if you knew that they could, if people would do that. So I don't know. Yeah, he's been outside most of the day, running around. Yeah, that's blue. Yeah, that's blue on camera there. Yep. He's right here. This is a painting by Kit. Carolina T. Carolina T did both of these. That one, you could probably sell that one. Thanks, AS. First super on a live stream. And yes, you guys, just like usual, I'm relying on your support on these live streams because there is no ad revenue on them. So if you like what I'm doing and think I do a good job, then I would appreciate your support. But when you send in super chats, why don't you type in a question or something about this case? I don't think people do that much on my channel for some reason. I mean, I was watching Vinny's show today, and everybody was sending in super chat, super chat, super chat, super chat, super chat, super. It's like every 2 seconds, and it had questions on all of them. So, like at one point, you could stop and go over the questions and talk about them. And I think that'd be kind of cool if we did that here on this channel. Of course, I can't get 3,000 people to watch on this channel during my live streams. I don't know if you have to go out and... I think if you stream on multiple platforms, it might help out a little bit. Then they hear about you somewhere else, and then they might want to come over to YouTube. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good video. No, I can't, Lady X. I can't. I'm going to do the super chat ones only. That's all. Well, he does it on his show, so why don't I try it on this one? That's what the super chat is for, so that the person actually can see it and read it. I mean, it's weird how people don't really seem to get that, It's a guy. Blue's a guy, not a girl. Okay. Let's see. What do we got here? I'm late, but it's 4:12 morning over here. Yeah, for me, all the interesting stuff is the timeline. There is another sighting. Apparently, somebody said that they saw him maybe trying to change his tire over here, and that there was somebody behind him, a redheaded person, trying to, maybe help change the tire. They were almost positive, like he went in there, and they didn't confirm anything out of that, but I mean, it is close to this area down here. But they said that they were at this Circle K here and saw what kind of mother sends her 13-year-old daughter upstairs to sleep with her boyfriend. I don't know, a pretty naive one for sure, I can tell you that. But here's the thing, you guys. Stephan Stearns is a pedophile, right? So he's if you look at what their MO is like they look for parents that have a child, and they work their way in there, and they start grooming the child. And so everything probably seemed normal, like 7 years, because in that document it does say that she was at first was very, would watch over what's going on, and over time, he'd been there 7 years. She sort of trusted that. And it means that she's naive for sure. Hey, Wendy Van Rokel. And by the way, when I'm doing, when I have a video out, it'd be cool if like all the moderators were watching over here, not another live stream. Yeah. Thanks, Wendy Van Rokel. The Stephan Stearns case disgusts me. Did he have prior victims? We haven't heard of that, but the whole thing was weird when he had the girlfriend, and he told the girlfriend that hey, one time I was sleeping with Madeline, and I got kind of excited, so I had to turn around and go turn the other direction. I mean, Jesus, really? What would made you think that your girlfriend wanted to hear something like that? What would make you think that? I know most people don't understand the mom's thought process, right? But I'm just trying to explain to you that he chose Jennifer for a reason. And, you know, she's probably not the brightest bulb in the world. And she believed, like, she was with this guy for 7 years, on and off, but, you know, he was like a stepdad when he was there. And Madeline was groomed, right? So Madeline was groomed, and you know, probably was told to say stuff to, you know, if your mom ever asks, say this because, you know, I don't want you to, you know, we'll get in trouble. We won't be able to do this, you know, blah, 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 blah. And to her friends, one of her friends said that Madeline really liked Stephan Stearns, right? And so all it would be is that if Jennifer, at first she said she was watching, but she never heard anything. So that would just be that that Madeline and Stephan convinced Jennifer that everything was just fine and never saw anything. You know, but it's just kind of strange to go, hey, go sleep up in a bed together, in a different room even. I mean, that's just wild. Actually, one of the producers was talking to me off the air, and she had a pretty interesting idea. I thought it was pretty good. She said that she thought that the reason they all three slept together a lot is because when she would sleep alone, Stephan would go in and be with her in the middle of the night. So she would always want all of them to sleep together. But on this night, Jennifer said, hey, why don't you go up there? And it took away that safety net of having all three of them there. Yeah. I thought that was a pretty interesting thought there. That maybe Madeline always wanted them all three to sleep together for safety for herself. Anyways, I was let's see. I was on Court TV, but I'm you know, that first segment I felt like I was kind of mumbling around. I was stumbling because they always say the stuff that I wanted to say. You know, like I wanted to go through the timeline on my own and, you know, and say like. So a lot of times when I finally get asked a question, I feel like I'm going to be repeating myself. Yeah. Well, you can just make yourself available for gifting, Nana Zeppeli. But hello. Yeah, so I want people to call in tonight and say what they're thinking here. And I can just kind of zip through this again for you guys. So Stephan Stearns and Jennifer, neither of them went to the birthday party that was being held at Jennifer's mom's house, which is kind of up here by the, let's see, where the hell is it? Yeah, right over here, I think. No, that's not where it is. Oh, right there. So it's near the school, but right over there in this community. And then I think the mother works kind of right around in this area, so pretty close to where she lived. But nobody made it to that party in terms of the parents. You know, I don't know if you want to call Stephan Stearns. I don't think of him as a parent. But they weren't there, and so I guess like Madeline's sister, Jennifer's sister dropped off Madeline at over here at like 8:30 maybe or so, and she sort of was by herself for a while, and then Stephan Stearns got there at like 10:45, and then he had Madeline start getting ready for bed, and then Jennifer shows up, and she's like, God, I'm just so tired. But by the way, like, Jennifer gets home, who goes right to bed like that? I mean, don't most women out there, like, you know, you take a shower or do something, you know, like go into the house and you're in sleep in 15 minutes and you're asleep. That seems really quick. And then they get sent up to the room to go sleep at 11. And when they go up to sleep at 11, they, let's see, they're by themselves upstairs in room number 4, and Jennifer's downstairs. Hey, thanks, Danielle. So she's downstairs and they're upstairs in the room together. And that's at 11 o'clock. And then we know at 11:49 that Stephan Stearns was on Telegram, and he was there at 11:49 p.m., which is very, it makes that way more interesting now. It was already interesting, but now you know that it was like almost an hour into them being alone up there. Jennifer is probably asleep at this point. So what is he filming at this right now? Like, what is he doing? And what do you guys think? You think that Jennifer, I mean, I've had a theory since the beginning that maybe she was pregnant somehow. But if he wasn't around, maybe if he was there 3 months before, now she's just now. And I guess one of the friends says she was late, but I think she ended up having her monthly cycle. So I don't know if that makes sense, but there's something must have happened where he felt like he had to kill her, or the information would get out, that it was coming out. Yeah, that was one of the theories. And by the way, I talked to Dr. Colleen Fitzpatrick. We might be had a pretty interesting one that we might be funding, but I got to wait for her to talk to somebody, you know, the sheriff or whatever first, and then I'll tell you about it. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about that, Jules, but I don't know. Feels like something happened where he felt like he had to do this. You know, something about, you know, if she tells anybody, the pregnancy thing made the most sense because he has no escape at that point. That it feels like that would be the one that make the most sense. That if she was pregnant, he'd have no escape because he'd have to be, you know, they figured out who the child was, all that stuff. He has no escape. However, you know, and then you think about the other scenarios. Doesn't it feel like, you know, he's been able to convince Maddie so many different times that he would be able to sell a different story to her, and she would just go, yeah, okay, yeah, and get her right back on the same page? Or is it that she started to make certain comments and, you know, different things that made it seem like she was about ready to tell somebody something? Yeah, and that could have been too, Ellen. Maybe she told him that she was pregnant and she really wasn't. Wouldn't that be crazy? Because we've seen stories like that. That's the one. We actually did a case similar to that. All right, but anyways, I'm going to put the phone numbers up in a minute. But if you're out there and you can help support the Grant Hughes Investigates YouTube channel, you know, send in a super chat with a question or any of the other various modes out there. I'm not a famous person or anything, but I just do my own show, so I don't get the same, you know, I'm not sure what it is, fanfare to show up to on my live streams, but I think I do good work here and come up with stuff that other people don't. And I could use your help. And if you can, thank you. So after, you know, they go to sleep, who knows? So again, at 11:49, I think she was killed before like 5 in the morning. I think it was like probably close to midnight, like 1 or 2. And he may have even in the middle of the night already put her into the car and covered her with a blanket or something. He probably didn't sleep 1 second after that. And then in the morning, you know, Jennifer says she hears people getting ready in the kitchen. But, you know, she didn't see Maddie in the morning. So she might have just thought she was awake. Just because she heard clanging in the kitchen. Probably didn't hear any voices or anything like that. And, man, it's so crazy. I mean, Seven Stearns, I mean, at any moment, Jennifer could have woke up, walked out and said, hey, where's Maddie? Oh, she's in the car. Oh, let me go look. I mean, but he seems like he would be one of those people, oh, don't get her. She's kind of, you know, make up some dumbass excuse, and she wouldn't go do it. Well, cool, Tania Animus. Like she died shortly after the shower. Well, it's 11:49. I think it's 11:49. She's still awake in there. And maybe the shower was, if they were sent to bed at 11, I think the shower had already happened. So. Now, there's no out if she was pregnant. That's the thing that makes the most sense. So what if she just said she was for some reason? So, you know, wherever she is in the morning, he heads out and Jennifer's still in bed. She hadn't even woke up till 8:15. So I'm not sure. Yeah, so that does make sense what Vinny was saying, is that like at 8:19, when he goes back home, maybe that's the 8:15 sounds that she hears, but it's really like 8:22 or something. Right? So 8:19. So let's just go back down here. So 7:36 in the morning, he's over here at the dumpster and he put a white plastic bag. Inside the white plastic bag was a backpack and a white Croc shoe. And they found 3 Croc shoes at the house, so that one was missing as the set. And then also inside the backpack was a laptop. And so there was a laptop inside the backpack. So it was a backpack, laptop, and the Croc were all inside that bag. And they didn't actually get it out of the dumpster itself. They let the dumpster be taken to the compacting area, I guess, and they went through the trash and found it there. They also found some tire treads that he had thrown in there at 4:35 in the evening on the way back to the house. Thanks, Michelle H. I guess you were the only one that heard what I said. Maybe she thought, maybe she was her friend said her, I don't know. I thought she said it, she had it 2 weeks later. Right, that's what I thought. That's what I said earlier. But I'm just saying, what if she told Stephan Stearns that? You know, and she was fighting with her mom, so maybe that would make Stephan Stearns want to take her away with him, you know? So anyways, at 7:50, after going and throwing the original items into the dumpster, the vehicle is seen leaving the area. And then it's seen leaving the area. And again, that was at 7:50. And then at 8:11, it's back here already, because I think it drove up here. And he already did the whole McDonald's thing and then came back. And then at 8:11 is right there. And then heading back down this direction, and then makes it back to the apartment complex at 8:19, but goes through the front of the complex here. See that? Then goes over to the house here. So what the hell was he doing inside that house? And where was Madeline during this time? Still propped up in the car? Because all these shots here, Madeline's still propped up in the car. Then at 8:31, the vehicle seen leaving out the back entrance again, with her still propped up. Just hopped on. Your coverage of this case has been outstanding. Well, thank you. That's weird though, the viewership on on it is I don't get very many viewers for some reason on my videos, or one live stream had pretty good viewers because it was new, but it's just sort of a bizarre thing. And thanks Tuna, and welcome Bloodhounder. Right, so he leaves at 8:31, right? Now we'll just walk through this here. 8:31, and then right here is at 8:39. I don't know what he's doing over here. Then at 8:41, so he could have came up this back way, and then 8:39, and then 8:41 right there, and then continues up this direction, and then look at 8:48 up in here. This is where the McDonald's was, and the school is right there. 8:48, and then it continues up here, and then makes its way up in, I think this one's an error there, that little pin there. It should have been a different time. Maybe like 8:50 or something. And then 8:09, and then over here at 9:01, 9:02, up in this area. Then 9:16 right over here. And then eventually makes its way to the parking garage. And it's near this building at 9:35. And then at 9:44, or 9:40, it's in the Holiday Inn, and he backs the car in and takes Madeline's, oh, I got that thing on the screen. Takes Madeline's body out of the vehicle. First he opened the trunk though, and then he opened up the passenger seat and then carried her and put her in the back, and it's all on camera. I mean, what an idiot. This whole thing, as I was saying on Court TV, is so ill-planned and absolutely is, it just seems like he's panicking and doing these things spur of the moment, trying to use his best thinking he can, but it's just not really working. I mean, you leave at 7:50 and you have her propped up. You try to go to McDonald's, okay, that didn't work. Then you come back and you're back again at 8:19 and she's still propped up. Then you go inside the apartment, and then you drive away again at 8:31, and she's still propped up in the vehicle. Now he's like, okay, she's been seen on camera enough propped up. Now I'm going to go and I need to get her out of the car and into the trunk so it looks like I dropped her off at school. That's what he was trying to make it look like. So then he drives around for a while, and then at around 11 o'clock, so again, like you can see these different times, 9:49, 9:50, he's heading back in this direction. And I think it's 10:03, he's right there. Then 10:05 here, 10:06 there. And then 10:44, he's back in the residence over here. And that's AM. And Jennifer at this time, I think, is just getting home, or he's, let's see. No, Jennifer should still be at her doctor's appointment. And then she comes home and they talk for a little bit after that. And then around 12:40 something, he leaves the house here with Madeline still sitting in the trunk. And went on 192 right here, drove all the way around, and then right here at 112, he passes this high school here, or a school, and then makes his way to the crime scene. Now, he spent about 40 minutes at the crime scene given the drive time to get here. He had a flat tire. I think he really did have a flat tire. And then he puts her body right there. He's already got the, he wants to get rid of the body first. Then he would fix the car. I'm sure he ran with her body and put her back over here when the coast was clear, just like I showed on the video earlier. If you go down like this and you look down there, you can actually see a car coming. So if he saw something like that, he sure as hell wouldn't have been running across the road with a body. So he'd look that way too. So he would look that way, and then he just ran as fast as he could, carrying her, and put her body behind right there. I think it's obvious, right? I mean, it's no way he just walked, given the fact that any car could come around one of those corners at any time. So he sprinted, and I think in this direction, you could probably even see that there was a car coming over here. So anybody that would have stumbled upon him likely would have been from this side, where there's not as long as of a sight of view there. Yeah. And so after that, that was around 1:20, 1:30-ish, but he was there for 40 minutes. And then he took off, and then his car, after he changed his tire, is seen right here at 2:17. And, you know, he makes his way back. I guess we could take a look and see what he's doing around that time. Let's see. 11:03, now it's 12:59. Okay. So what does he do after? All right, so there he is at 12:29, and then back basically at the house at 2:41. And it looks like he kind of just hangs out at the house at that point. And 3:26. See, this is the house right here. This is 3:29. It looks like he's still pinging in the pie shape that goes towards the house. Yeah, we always get the trolls that show up in here, you guys. But I'm definitely going to need your guys' support tonight. Video did poorly, and there was no ad revenue on the show. So we're gonna, if you can help out with the super chats, I mean, treat this like the other shows where you ask the questions and we go over them. That'd be great. I don't know how to get people to get into that mode, but that'd be awesome. Yeah, so at 3:29, let's keep going through here. Yeah, and then 4, let's see, where is he at? This is 4:28 to 4:38. He's still pinging at the apartment. And he's still there at, so right now, he's near the edge of it, I guess, because this is about when he throws the item into the dumpster. That's exactly the time right there, 4:44, right? Or is it? No, it's 4:35, I think. So let me go back. So he's definitely at the apartment complex when he does that. Thank you, OCD. And, well, Court TV had a person on that said her sources said she was strangled to death. That's what one of their sources said. And that makes the most sense. That's what I've always thought. I don't think there was knives or a gun or anything like that. I mean, it'd be crazy if there was, but anyways, he comes back to the apartment complex, and 4:35, or he doesn't come back to it, he's already there, but at 4:35 he makes his way to the dumpster and throws away the tire treads that are going to match perfectly to the tire treads that are at the that were found at the crime scene. And so there you have it. There you have it. Yeah, he's like I said on Court TV. I said Stephan Stearns is toast. I mean, he has zero chance of beating this. If I was him, I would try to plea in some way to try to get life without parole or something, but just so the information isn't in court or something. But man, what an absolute vile pile of shit that guy is. All right. Do you think they should take away the death penalty in exchange for the truth of where, when, how, and why? I don't know. I think they've got a lot of the... I mean, basically, all you would want to have them tell you is the why part. Because they already know the where and the... Well, I mean, it's obviously in the house. It would be nice to know the when, but they've already got him nailed and all that. I think if they let him plea, though, that would be part of the requirement, is for him to tell the truth. But man, who the hell would ever know what the hell he's talking about, right? How would you know that Stephan Stearns was telling you the truth? And I'm not really into the whole... Everybody's so into the mom element, like Mila B there. The mom should not be getting a pass on this. Nobody is that stupid. Well, there are people that stupid. And pedophiles actually pick people just like her that have kids, and they're successful because that's why they keep doing this. All right? It doesn't mean she knew something. I mean, it's kind of wild to me. Yeah. The why is just unverifiable. Yeah, we'd never really get to know the why, I guess. Maybe they have an answer. I mean, the thing is with Jennifer, she has nothing to do with the murder, right? So is it just everybody wanting a pound of flesh because she made stupid decisions like, oh, wow, you know, she let her sleep with Stephan, but it probably was sold to her by both of them. And over the years, she began to trust him for that type of situation, even though it's not anything that people would do, right? Right, okay, you're better than everybody, Mila. You're better than everybody. I mean, I know most people wouldn't allow somebody to do that, but the thing is I think Jennifer lost a child. She made poor decisions, and maybe that's the punishment, right? Right. I mean, that's the truth. What Zozo just typed in. She's not the only mother in the world that's been unaware. And that's exactly right. That's how this happens. You know, you're a mother that has to work, and you work hard, and you're trying to, you know, maybe you're working and you're just, you know, she just doesn't seem like she's all together there anyways. And so that's exactly the type of person that Stephan Stearns would want to look for. Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? I just think it's weird that everybody wants to like charge her somehow. Okay, we've already got Stephan Stearns, but I want to. And it's really, I think what it is a moral superiority complex that people have. Right? They want people to know that they're better than she is, so she needs to go to jail. You know, she needs to go to jail because I would never do that. Therefore, you know, to me it reminds me of the hot car death story. You know, when a child's left in a car accidentally, and people go, well, she should still get put in prison anyways. Or get some negligence charge of some kind. I guess that's very similar to this one, you could think. And I'm not a fan of Jennifer Soto whatsoever. I just can see, I don't see any evidence in any of the documentation that she's part of the murder of Madeline Soto. And I think that's really what we're all kind of concerned about, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's even more interesting, Mila B. Not you. So go do something else, all right? Let's see. Since she didn't have a job, I have to wonder if he was selling images, videos, and Maddie. And see, I'm putting Mila B on timeout because her comment was this. I think it's interesting that it's mostly men giving her a pass. You know, it's like, come on. It's just anybody that's logical doesn't see it the way you do, okay? Logical people see it where she has nothing to do with the homicide. And she seemed almost shocked when she was shown the picture and was like, almost like, no way, no way. And I just feel like, yeah, I don't know. I it's just ridiculous. I don't know how to get through this shit with you guys. There's just so many of these people that are, you know, I'm not like Vinny when I'm talking, and I'm going to sort of like everybody's thoughts are great and everything like that. I don't agree with you at all. Okay. She has nothing to do with it. Her choices, you know, it seemingly seems totally naive to be like, hey, sleep in there. But 7 years they were together. Okay? 7 years. So I'm going to err on the side that she didn't have any knowledge of it at all. Now, the guy that was one of the guests tonight was saying, oh, they should charge her anyways and charge her and do something. And I don't know. I'm just... You know, I don't know. I feel bad for her. If you look at the FBI profile that was in the, it's hard to defend her, and this is exactly why, because of all this crap that we're reading here. It's hard to defend her, but I totally can see it because, like, if you look at the April Tinsley case, the profile on that guy is exactly like Stephan Stern's. That he would try to be with somebody who had a child with them. He'd live near a school. He would do this. He would do that. You know, it just matches perfectly. Yeah, I think. I mean, I thought I read something like that. Let me see. Hold on. And you guys are saying tripod. Okay, so where is this? This is in the evidence property report. Phone, tripod. I don't see anything that says that. People are saying that. I don't remember reading that, nor do I remember seeing it. Well, thanks, PG. So how do we get the support up on this show tonight? I mean, it's just wild. I mean, you guys know what we do here. If you're new to this channel, this channel's donated $202,000 since January of 2020 out of the income from the channel. We have a DNA fund. We have a scholarship fund that we just gave $6,000 out to 2 different students, $3,000 apiece. We've put over $80,000 into a scholarship fund. We've given $20,000 to over $20,000 to NCMEC, Texas Equisearch, and RAIN, which is Violence Against Women. All 3 have got over 20. All right, and the only way that stuff happens is if you guys are supporting the channel on a daily and nightly basis, and it should be certainly pretty simple to do when we've got, 400 or 500 people watching. We do it even when there's 300. So let's see if we can get the ball rolling here. Hey, April Rains, 10th super on a live stream. Now, you might not like that this channel donates that much money because other channels don't. Your favorite people don't donate a goddamn thing to a soul, all right? But we've made a huge difference in the true crime community. So you would think that would make a difference. All right. They do too, Gray. They have fundraising. Yeah, right. How did it hurt them? Did it come out of their pocket? Hell no. Well, it started when she was 8, so how long he'd been grooming the mom? Well, that means they were together when she was 6, though. Then started at 8, right? And I'm sure he kept making the mom feel like, and, he would give presents and so forth to Maddie. Thank you, April Rain and Whiskey Boots. Snuggle time because Madeline didn't like to sleep alone. Yeah, but maybe she didn't like to sleep alone because when she slept alone, good old Stephan Stearns would sneak in there. Right? I think that's the problem. He may have made Jen feel incompetent. I don't know. Anyways, let's do get the phone lines open here. All right, there you go. There you go. Ball rolling and super chat questions. Someone else, please post one. What was your question? I put it on the screen though, right? I mean, it's amazing. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't know what the deal is tonight or every night. I think it depends on several facts. Thanks, Allie K. Why wasn't the roommate interviewed? She was interviewed. She's 1,000% guilty. No, she isn't, JC. Sorry for your confusion. They might charge her for some sort of a negligence charge, but she has nothing to do with the murder of Madeline Soto. But there's the numbers. Let's hear what you guys think about this stuff. No, it's okay. I'm just saying, you guys, we do a lot of stuff here. So. Hello, who's this? It's who? Hector? What's going on, Hector?
Yeah, not much. I called about this case a few months back.
Yeah.
And I thought Jen.
You thought Jen was kind of guilty? Yeah.
Something rubbed me the wrong way about her even back then, and I still think something's wrong with her.
No, something wrong with her, yeah, but what evidence of any of all the documents we've seen, what points to her being involved at all in the murder of Madeline?
Well, I don't know how far I can go with that.
Well, no, what do you mean by far you can go with that? I'm saying what evidence is there?
Like involved with the murder? I think she probably knew her daughter was being molested, right? And I would think that she was probably trying to save him and sacrificed her daughter. That's what I thought. And the reason I'm saying that is because...
Or by the way, we just had somebody...
we
just had somebody type in, "This is the only channel that defends Jen. Gross. Goodbye." That's why this channel's better than those channels, because at this point, there's no information that supports Jennifer having anything to do with the homicide of Madeline Soto. Okay? Now, you can all love those drama channels and all the shit that want to talk about it over and over and over again. This isn't going to be one of those. All right, so go ahead. What do you got? Keep going. I mean, it's okay to disagree, to have a conversation about it, but I'm not going to do the drama crap where we go after the other person's just because there's nothing else to talk about with Stephan Stern.
No, this is a fact-based channel, and I completely appreciate that, 100%.
All
right. And you're not going to find a better channel on these kind of topics here. I watch a lot of them. This is the best one, no doubt. But back to my point. So there's a few things that really bother me about Jen. Number one, she corrected the clothing she was wearing, that Madeline was wearing.
Yeah.
Having not ever seen her. Okay, right. That's a huge red flag. Huge. It doesn't get bigger.
Well, no, because if you think about it like this though. He had told her earlier, yeah, she was wearing shorts, she did this. Or that's what she normally wore to school, because I think they wore uniforms there. So wouldn't she normally be wearing those shorts? But what if Stephan Stearns originally told her that, and then in that meeting he goes, oh, she was wearing pants, and then he goes, no, she was wearing shorts. Because that's what she told him.
If that happened to me, I would say, well, earlier you said she was wearing pants or whatever, right? I would say, well, why did you say earlier?
Well, I know, but you think
I wouldn't correct the person who saw her, right?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. To correct the person who actually saw her.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're just sort of saying it the way you would say it, and she didn't. Therefore, there's something not right.
I'm saying anyone with a functioning brain would say that, right?
Well, I don't agree with that.
Like, okay. So let's say, it just doesn't make sense to correct the person who saw her when you yourself did not see her.
Yeah, but she's already been asked to make it seem like she was there because she should have been there, but she slept in, so she was the irresponsible parent who didn't wake up. So I took her to school, and she never made it to school. Therefore, now they're going to come after me, so you need to help me out here. I didn't do anything to her, and she believes it, so she's still doing the same thing. But I think it's just it could be as simple as that's what she normally wore to school, and he said pants, and she might have said no, it was shorts, and he went, oh, okay, shorts. He didn't. She
well,
didn't.
we can agree to disagree on that. To me, that's very weird. Let me move on to my next thing that bothers me about her, and that is, well, I already mentioned that, you know, she let some creepy weirdo sleep with her daughter. That's just off the wall insane. Now, the other thing that bothers me is that he hadn't been there for months, right?
Yeah, it sounded like a couple months, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. And the very night that he sees her, his supposed girlfriend, for the first time, she goes straight to bed and sends this creep to go molest her daughter.
Well, I think it's more like they're not dating anymore, and so she's just like, I just want to go to sleep. But he's always been part of the family before, so, you know, hey, why don't you guys go up and sleep there? I just want to get some sleep. Like,
so she has her ex-boyfriend over to come molest her daughter again? Is that?
I mean, I'm not sure why you're wording things like that. It's childish when you're wording it like that.
Because that's what happened.
Right? Well, that's what happened. But you're saying he invited her over to molest her again, like she had knowledge of it, and that's why we're not going to be able to have a conversation. If you keep talking like that, it's not going to work. Okay. It's stupid. Okay.
Well, I'm just bringing it to the blunt truth, right? Where, why would your ex-boyfriend show up? Why was he even there in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe he showed up because he wanted to be there on her birthday, but he couldn't make it on time either and showed up late.
Well, he showed up to murder the daughter. That's why.
Well, yeah, but what does that have to do with her?
Well,
he ends up killing her later. We don't know what the reason for killing her was. That's not why. We don't know he showed up to kill the daughter. We know that he ended up killing her later because of something. So you're making assumptions there.
True. That's true. I'll give you that. It's a pretty safe assumption, though, right?
Well, no, it's not a safe assumption that he went there to kill her. It's possible.
You don't think so?
No, you can't. I don't assume that at all. I think that he went there and he did what he wanted to do, and something happened. Maybe something was said. It's also possible that they, you know, in your scenario, that there was communications that were being done, and over the phone, perhaps, and something was said, and he was like, "Oh man, she's about to tell somebody," or maybe even a text saying she was pregnant or something, and then he went there, and then he was going to kill her. But why do you think it was so poorly planned after the fact? I mean, it was so horrendously poorly planned. It was almost like it was ridiculous. So if he did it on purpose, don't you think he would have thought that all out?
So it's possible you think that it was an accidental killing?
I think it is possible. Yeah, that like somehow, you know, an accidental. But he ended up, if he strangled her, then no. Okay. But if, you know, even if, I guess if it's strangling, somebody else set up there, maybe he tried to strangle her in a sexual situation and she died.
That's possible.
I mean, that's a possibility, but I don't know, you know. I think he killed her because of something that was said and he had no out. Like he felt trapped, that everybody would find out who he was, something like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just, the videos of her in that insurance company, she's not showing any emotion whatsoever.
I don't agree with that. I think she looks like she's just totally shaking and just like, God, you know, what's going, you know, she's just, and she's on drugs too, you know.
Is she?
Yeah, I think so. That's what they said. Like she takes she's a bipolar as well or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that could be then.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing. I don't know if there's a way to just say that she absolutely knew something. And like when you word things like, well, she sent him upstairs to kill. I mean, really? I mean, that's just like, you know,
well,
that's assuming she knew.
I'm not, like, I don't have a YouTube channel where I have to, you know, you're doing the right thing. I'm just the irresponsible caller saying what I think.
No, but I actually say what I think too, all the time. This is one of those ones I don't agree with that. If I saw things that pointed to her knowing, the only thing that ever bothered me was like she's saying she saw Madeline getting ready to get dressed at 8:15, and then I got really bothered by the fact that she would allow Madeline to sleep with Stephan.
Okay,
at times, it sort of bothered me a little bit,
she
but
told a lie, right?
yeah, but that lie, but I've explained that lie 1,000 times. It's just he made her feel guilty for not being awake, so he wanted her to say that she saw him, or actually, it might not even be a lie though, because we just talked about it tonight. So here's the thing: she says she saw, but that's not true. But she ends up saying she heard people in the kitchen. So thought that they were up, but that was at 8, like she said 8:15, right? But at 8:19 is when he actually came back with her and went into the house. So maybe it was 8:20 that she heard him and thought, okay, yeah, she was home. I assumed that she was home, but she didn't really see. So you see, the lie would just be that she saw, but she came forward in these documents saying that she never saw Madeline on that day.
Okay. Well, and on this particular day that her daughter ends up dead, she magically sleeps late and forgets to take her to school.
Well, it's not really magically sleep late. That's why the thing is she got home late and she slept in because she said she was tired, and she woke up at 8, so that means she slept probably 8.5 hours, and then she got out of bed at 9. But Stephan had already taken her out of the house before that. I would likely think that, at 7:36 when he's over at the dumpster, she's already dead and has been placed in the vehicle prior to that. So she's still absolutely asleep at that point.
Well, at some juncture, you're going to have to say, okay, all these wild anomalies that we have are surrounding Jennifer Soto and things she's doing and saying and behaving all add up to say something is dirty in Denmark, right? They all add up. You can explain away each individual one.
But there isn't that many. You're making it sound like it's like one of those circumstantial evidence chains, and that's not what this is. There's nothing there. These are all just really.
I think there is though.
I know you're saying
she sleeps late. Let's just.
But what is the sleeping late?
She lied. Mm-hmm. She lied twice. She said that both of them drove her to school. That's another lie. She said, okay. She said that, both of them drove her to school originally, right?
Yeah, they said we took her to school, but in the same sentence. Well, she said we took her to school, right. But then in the same sentence, she said he dropped her off. I mean, a sentence or two later, he dropped her off at school. So he just said that.
Then she's correcting the guy who saw her when she didn't see her, Yeah. And then she's also waiting way too long to report her missing, right? And then schools calling her or whatever. Did the school call her and say she's not at school, right? And then she still didn't report it?
No, she called pretty quickly after that. After the school got back to her and said she never showed up to any of her classes.
Well, how did they go from, school ends at 3 o'clock or something?
Well, she waited around, and then she went over to her mom's place to see if she'd gone there. So why did she do that? All just part of a ruse? She goes over to her mom's work, because that's normally where Madeline would go. And she went over there, and she wasn't there. And then she, I think, emailed one of the teachers, and the teacher said, oh, she was never here. After she responded with that, then she called 911.
Yeah, it could be a ruse, because if you just murdered somebody, wouldn't you, or you were involved, right? Wouldn't you want to try to pretend like, oh, I need to act like I'm looking for my daughter, right?
Right. So you're kind of now you're doing the other side.
She wasn't out searching. She wasn't out searching.
Yeah, but you're trying to you're doing the other way. You're trying to make something out of something. To me, it means that she really was looking for Madeline, not trying to pretend that she was looking for her, but knew that she'd go there to kind of keep the whole thing, the ruse, going. Yeah.
Well, anyone who just murdered somebody or was involved with a murder would actually try to make it look like they're innocent, right? And looking for your daughter and going to the school and saying, "Where's my daughter?" That's a must do, right? Unless you're just You have an IQ of like 35, 40. That's a must do. You're going to do that. Put yourself in the shoes of a murderer.
Yeah, she
and
did.
You just murdered a school kid that's supposed to be at school, and you're not going to go to the school and pretend like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, she did go. She did go to the school, and it was closed. I guess when she got there, it was closed. And then
the school.
Well, I can't remember now exactly if she waited around. Now I don't remember, but I thought at one time it was like it was closed because she got there at a little after it closed, and then didn't see her or anything, and then went and checked to see right after that if she was over at her mom's business. Then went back, or then sent an email to one of the teachers, and the teacher said she wasn't there that day. Then she called the police. Why didn't she wait until like 10 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night or something? Look around even longer. And I don't know.
Well, the cops weren't there till like, it was, the insurance thing was like 7:20, right? 7:30.
Yeah, maybe they just kind of took their time. I don't know.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of weird things with this woman, but hey, if the cops say she's innocent, I guess we go with that. But I find it hard to believe.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see.
Going on in your house.
I guess we'll see. All right.
I mean, I have another theory that the cops are saying she's innocent to get her. There's phone calls, right? With the prison phone calls, they're getting information from that. Like they're leading her along, making her think that, you're okay. We don't think you're guilty. Meanwhile, they're gathering more evidence on all this stuff.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to take some other calls, but appreciate your conversation. All right.
Yep. Thanks, Grant.
All right.
Have a good night.
Bye. So I can tell that my stance in here isn't going to help me out on the super chats tonight. Isn't that sad? Because we're just getting crushed again. Yeah, this is great. Who's this?
This is Ishi Says. How are you?
How's it going?
It's going good. Interesting. This is an interesting case, and it's obviously very sad and tragic all around. I tend to lean towards that this was a mom, that Jen is a mom who's naive, probably at least emotionally abused at minimum, and not paying enough attention. I think that's the worst thing she's probably guilty of, in my opinion. I think she, people have a hard time believing if you're not capable of doing something like this scumbag does and did, you don't think that way, because you wouldn't do it. So I think there are a lot of women who allow, and men too maybe, that allow people into their children's lives too soon or without really knowing them. But this is a long-term relationship.
Right, exactly. So, 7 years. So 7 years, you'd think, over time she trusted him a little bit, right?
Right. Whether obviously she shouldn't have, but she didn't, I guess, have enough reason to think that there was any danger or anything like that. And
right, because she groomed Maddie to always say certain things, so there was nothing for her to be nervous about.
Right, exactly. But I can't even imagine how I would respond to things. I think it's easy, and I've done it myself too, to think we would react or do things a certain way, and I think I don't know that any of us know what we would do or how we would act or what we would say or those sorts of things in that type of situation. I just don't think we know. And hopefully we never have to find out. But it's really easy to jump to judge. And also the fact that a lot of times it is the mom or it is the dad or the stepdad or the boyfriend or the girlfriend. So, we have reason in these cases to automatically go to that. But I don't know that it's fair. until there's a reason to.
Yeah, we had a whole
those
conversation the other day about. I mean, it's strange because if it's a biological father, I don't think most women would think that would be that weird. And if you did think it was weird that your husband and his biological daughter was, you said, hey, like maybe they slept in a different bed when you wanted to sleep, then should you be married to that person? Like if you have somebody that you're going to get married to, that you're like, let's say Stephan Stearns, they're 7 years, maybe they're going to get married. There might have been a point where she really trusted him and all that. And if you didn't trust somebody like that, you thought, oh, they're really after my daughter. Who the hell would stay with that person? I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
Right. Well, but I also know that there are a lot of codependent people in this world that, for whatever reason, believe that they, having a bad partner is better than having no partner. And that's just a problem. But I haven't seen anything. Do I think Jen seems a little off? Yes, but if I were in her circumstance, I would probably have to be sedated to the point that I wasn't coherent either. I don't know. It's I can't imagine what she's gone through and the guilt that she's feeling as a mother. I hope that she wasn't involved. If she was in any way, then I hope she's prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But until, no sympathy at all at that point. But
yeah, I haven't seen anything at all that she's involved. Nothing in those documents that we read points to her. As a matter of fact, it proves what she was saying. She went to the doctor's appointment. You see it on the cell phone pinging. She goes to the doctor's appointment. It shows her phone around the school, and everything matched up to exactly what she said she did. We know that she made it.
Well, and
go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I agree. Well, and I just, I try to think about how illogical just a normal day may be in my own life sometimes. I try to think about that. I went here, I forgot something at home, I ran back to get it, then I ran. I mean, if you looked at any of our, just a random day for any of us, which for her, it was just a day, so she decided to sleep in a little bit. But, okay. I mean, that's not, I guess my point is we can make almost anything suspicious.
Yeah.
If we really try to, and like I say, I think about the randomness of a normal day in my life. If I live alone, somebody asked me, what were you doing three Thursdays ago at 7 p.m.? I don't know. I was home by myself. So the fact that someone can't answer exactly everything.
Mm-hmm. And she was close about saying, like, basically she said, I saw her getting ready, but it was really, I heard her getting ready at around 8:15, right? So about 8:21 or something, he would have been in the house. That second time, even though Madeline's body's still in the car. So maybe that's not really the big a lie as we originally all thought. It's just kind of, she didn't see her, she just assumed that was her in the kitchen.
Right. And also, if you're sleeping sort of or just waking up, unless you literally just looked at your phone or your clock, you just have to kind of guess about what time it was. And sometimes things come down to the minute, or so if someone's off a little bit on something like that, I think it's easy for us to automatically apply suspicion to that. Again, I've done it myself. I'm not judging anyone that does. I've done it myself. Well, that sounds strange. Well, I thought you said it was 8:12 and it was actually 8:14. Who knows exactly what time they did anything? Right.
I mean, it was a miracle that the guy that saw the car being with a flat tire, he was really close. Like he said 1:20. I mean, he was probably within 5 minutes, but he probably realized what time he was driving around. They made eye contact. So. Right.
Or maybe he finished a phone call or started a phone call right after that or something and could go back and look at that. I don't know. But I think it's well, the main thing for me is it's just sad how many of these cases there are. It's just awful.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing is
how often this happens.
And he's like he is like the classic cliche pedophile.
Yep.
That guy.
For sure.
Everything like grooming, picked a certain type of mother. Probably one that was kind of busy. Needed some help a little bit, and and he's always there to help. But then he groomed her, Madeline, to not say anything, and then after a while, she began to trust him, and she felt like, wow, this is just a cool little family and everything, and it really, in his mind, it never was. He was just waiting for, trying to get his chances with Madeline. I mean, disgusting.
He's a predator.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no doubt, and I hope that let's say bring back the Scarlet Letter when they go to prison, but make them wear a giant P on the front of their shirt or something. But it's just sad, and I feel if her mother did have anything to do with this, like I said, that I have zero sympathy, and whatever she gets, she gets. But if she didn't, I cannot imagine.
I just don't. My thing is I totally agree with you. Like, if she does have something to do with it, and I see that one piece of information, I'll go, oh, boom, right? But I don't even see anything like that currently at all. No. Nothing even. The only thing that bothered me was at 8:15, but now there's even kind of an explanation for that a little bit. And so it's kind of, well, where am I at now? I just feel like she's a victim of Stephan Stearns, who she trusted, and he ended up killing her daughter, and she was unaware of what was going on. And obviously they get away with this.
Well, sorry.
I mean, these pedophiles, they get away with this. They're in these types of relationships all over the place, and they're getting away with it too, and the mother doesn't know anything. Does it make them all complete, just, evil monsters, all of those people out there? And that right now they currently have a guy that is abusing their kid, and they have no idea about it right now as we speak. So
well, and I mean, and statistically, I actually worked on a sex offender unit at an adolescent psychiatric facility for about 3 years, and it's interesting that it's way more prevalent than we think, but statistically, it's usually a direct family member or someone very close to the family. So, but I think part of it goes to just our own. We like to believe that we would know. They could never on all these scenarios. We like to believe it would never happen to us.
Right, and then people get really vocal about it, and they get really vocal. That's exactly what I would say. It's kind of like the. I'm not sure if it's moral superiority, or like they just want to say, oh, I would never do that, therefore, and they want to speak out really quickly and condemn somebody, even though it's something that happens to people. I mean, it does
happen to people. It does. I mean, if your child's ever gone and spent the night with someone who has an older brother, or a brother who has a friend staying over, or a stepdad, or a dad, or a mom's, any of those, I'm just saying, it happens way too often, and I wish we could find a way to know about these things and act more quickly before things like this happened. But I think that's a lot of it is just our own mind makes us feel safe to think it couldn't happen. We would know better, or we would do different, or we would, handle it some other way. And I think these people are wired to manipulate and wired to study people and figure out their weak areas and hone in on those and build find out what makes them tick and get in their good graces. I mean, that's what they do. They're very, very good at it. And it's easy for them to, pull the wool over people's eyes and it's sad, and I'm glad that at least one more is off the street. But as a profession, I'm a realtor, and people always want to know about the sex offender registry and those sorts of things, and I try to, in a polite way, tell them, you need to just assume that if your neighborhood has more than 10 houses, there's likely someone with a tendency in your neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, my eyes have been totally opened up in the last
the
couple of years.
registry
There's
is
so
the ones
many.
that have been caught.
There's so many, just predators out there. I mean, way more than anybody thinks there are. I can tell you that. They're all over the place.
Absolutely. And like I said, the ones on the registry are only the ones that have been caught, and they're a small percentage of what's out there. So don't get. I guess my point is, don't get too comfy just because you purchase a home on a street where there isn't one within 2 miles. Because I guarantee you there is one within 2 miles. They're just not on the registry. So, we have to be cautious, and I think really kind of watch out for each other. And I think that's something that we've kind of quit doing, at least in this country, is, yes, mind your own business, but if you see something, say something kind of thing. If something makes you feel a little bit weird, bring it up and say, hey, he seems awfully close, or they seem really close, or, something like that. Because even if you're not accusing anything and you don't want to do that without knowing, it may put a bug in that person's ear or a thought in their mind where they start to look a little differently at the situation.
Yeah.
And maybe
one thing that was
say,
sort of strange, wouldn't you think that this is one thing in the opposite side of, the last caller. Like, one of the things I was thinking about is, like, it seems like Jennifer at some point in the middle of the night would have gone upstairs and checked or something. I guess if you totally trusted somebody, though, you wouldn't feel the need to do that. Right? Because that would mean you're suspicious to go up to check.
Well, exactly, like you said earlier. And I would like for you to notice how hard I'm working to not say the CORRECT word tonight.
Correct.
I usually get flagged at least 3 times when I'm talking to you.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
So you've taught me something, Gray. But no, but I agree with what you said earlier. If you were going to be that suspicious, then why would you let it happen to start with? It just goes back to that whole. The only family that I've seen that was like, wow, they just are that dumb was I can't remember. There was a Netflix documentary. I don't even remember but it was the weirdest thing where the guy ended up sleeping with the mom and the dad and sleeping with the daughter, and then he kidnapped her and took her somewhere. I don't remember do you know which one I'm talking about?
Oh, is this an old case?
Somebody.
From.
Yes.
Oh, I was just looking at that. Is it a little, like a blonde? Is that the one where the guy got shot by the FBI out in the woods?
I don't even remember how it ended. It was just, somebody in chat I'm sure knows what I'm talking about. There was the family, and he was like close friends with the family, and then said that his therapist had said it would help him with his anxiety if he slept with their daughter, and they let him do it. And then
what was that one? That was one we covered. It wasn't too long ago, right?
And then the dad was in the truck with him, and he got the dad to.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
what the hell was that? Yeah, no, that's right. That was the one that was on. It was a movie. It was like a special on television.
Well, they did a documentary on it or something. Yeah, it was. That one was. I was like, that's one that I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
This is not real life. Like this.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Like, he went in there and he. Like, the dad of the girl went with him into a car and actually did stuff to him. And then...
Yep.
Yeah, it was just a ridiculous story.
I don't even know. I was like, I don't understand. But again, I have to remind myself, there are people that are that naive and that really just believe that everyone's inherently good and all these sorts of, and I think most people are. I do believe that. But I also know that a lot of people are very sick and demented, and you have to be careful. And you cannot. When I first got divorced, my daughter was living with me, and my oldest son had already moved out on his own, and my middle son, who was 18, stayed at our previous home. And I was, after a couple of years, started dating again. Well, I had a teenage girl living with me, and I had several men be offended because I wouldn't let them pick me up at my home. And I told them, too bad. I don't know you yet, and you don't need to know where I live. And basically, I mean, that may sound rude, but I don't really care. I mean, it's my life, and I've got a daughter. And, until I know someone, they don't need to be at my house or around my kids, So I'm a little bit more stringent on my boundaries than a lot of people. But I know one of my daughter's best friends' mom was a serial dater. And I mean, like, night 2, she's got the dude staying in her house for a week on end, and she had 2 kids there. And again, I talked to her about it. I was like, do you really think that's safe?
Yeah.
So I think it's just that mindset of, well, they seem okay, but I have to give Jen a little bit of a break here. They were together for a really long time.
Yeah, 7 years.
And, that's a little different than some guy you just met last week. And I'm sure that I can't imagine what she's going through. Either way, she's got to be in turmoil. If she did have something or know something, then that's got to be awful. And if she didn't, I can't imagine. But
yeah.
I appreciate your time and letting me kind of share my thoughts on this.
Well,
and thank you for your coverage and all that you do to bring some light to these cases and kind of keep them.
What's your chat name again? It is something. What is it again?
It's Ishii Says.
Ishii Says.
ISHIE. Ishii Says.
Okay.
Ishii's my grandma name.
I think I would say Is She Says, but yeah, Ishii Says. Okay, there you go.
Ishii Says, yes. But thanks again, Gray. I appreciate you. And my Chihuahua says hey to your Chihuahua. So.
Well, hey back. Correct. All right. See you later. Have a good
there
one.
You go. I may change my street name to that.
Oh, God. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. See you later.
I won't. I'm kidding. See you. Have a good night.
All right,
and
bye.
Good night, freaks.
Bye. Thanks, Peter up there. And you guys, if you're out there and you can afford it and want to help support the Grant Hughes Investigates YouTube channel, that'd be great. We do a lot of great stuff with it as well. Here we go. Hello, who's this?
Hey, this is Veronica from New York.
Veronica from New York. What's going on?
Veronica from New York. That's going to be a hard call to follow. That was very informative. I don't have any daughter's experience like that, but what I will say, I can't. She had to have known, and I think the reports of the friends reporting the animosity between Jennifer and Madeline, knowing what she was experiencing at this monster's hands, and still complaining about how her mother was treating her, says a lot about the dynamic. I didn't have a great relationship with my mother. There was abuse at home, but it was scary because she worked at the school district, so it was like Dr. Jekyll and Hyde, and I saw that. And watching her behavior and how both of them blame a lot on ADHD and memory, and they had a doctor's appointment and medication. They both just seem very reliant on just, I guess, trying to escape reality almost. And Madeline sounds like she just got tossed around in the mix, and there was no adult or parent there for her. As much as he wants to call himself, it's disgusting when you hear him say, you know, I was like her father.
But I think he probably
He
made
was
it
not.
seem like he was the one that cared. So he probably was responsible for his daughter not liking the mom that much. He probably would buy her gifts and say, "Look, I'm the one that really cares. You know, don't tell her anything like this." And he was always the one doing that stuff.
No.
Well, what do you mean no?
I don't know. I think a woman scorned is a very scary thing.
Right, I know that part, but that's not what's going on here. You think like she knew, so she's feeling scorned, so you know she's okay. I mean, if she's feeling scorned, why would she then let them?
Her treatment towards Madeline, I think she resented her. You don't think so?
I mean, she might resent that they seem close, but I don't think they're resented because, like she knew that they were having sex or something and felt scorned like that. No way.
I think she did.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see. This is a very. I can't stop thinking of this case, and you've been reporting on it so much, and I love the way you're very direct, and I like the way that you're detailed, and you have really stayed up on topic. I felt so bad last night. I was listening. You sounded so tired, and you really. I don't even know what page you reached to, but
well, I did 6. So. I think I did. Well, I made it all the way to the end. I did 6 hours.
Yeah, like 500
yesterday.
pages.
Yeah, well, it's 900, but you got to skip a lot because they were redacted and stuff.
Right, and black pages. And
yeah. So.
I guess we'll see. You know what? And maybe as I talk about my experience, maybe that's why I'm thinking that way. You know, the female angry way. But I mean, he's convicted, so we know that.
Yeah, but if don't you think if she knew that, if she felt scorned and like, oh my God, yeah, he's with her, don't you think she just would have gone to the cops and said, hey, this guy's doing this? I mean, it just seems weird to like she's just feeling scorned.
Not if she was benefiting from it somehow.
Yeah.
If she was dependent on things that he was. It sounds like he knew how to.
Right.
Someone like that can like put on an act like that.
Right, but that's why I think the act is, that's what it is. She just believed that everything was normal. Maybe she didn't like that they seemed to get along better than she did, but I think he's the one that made it that way. You know, he was always probably buying her those little weird toys and
that was so weird.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
all of the groups that he was talking. He sounded like such a dork too, with all his posts, and he skeeves me out. Looking at him, listening, it's crazy. So, but thank you for all your coverage.
Yeah, no problem. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
We got a different opinion. See, we've had it's two against one so far on the calls. 2 anti Jennifer, she did it type of thing, and yeah. All right.
Yeah,
well, thank you.
Keep a tally.
All right. Have a good one.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
All right, you guys. What's going on tonight? We're just getting crushed again. We're not even at 30% of our nightly goal, and we've already been on here for an hour and a half. Jen was found. What did you say? He made. Yeah. Jen found abusing Maddie. She went into a rage and no. Sorry, busy mom. That didn't happen. Yeah, I think Stephan Stearns had her completely trained to say whatever, whatever situation arose, don't say anything. It's just like on Telegram when these people would, they would force girls to put something on Telegram, and then they would blackmail them into doing more and more and more. Eventually, they would get people to kill themselves, right? So you don't think it'd be easy for Stephan Stearns to control Maddie somehow by just saying, hey, I've got these pictures too. Maybe there was even that element, but it seemed like he tried to get her to like him and trust him and just to not say anything because they won't be able to do all these fun things anymore. That's how he probably worded things. Hey, thank you, Brittany. Appreciate it. Well, the phone lines are open, you guys. That's what this show's about. Calling in and saying what you think. If not, we'll just end the show pretty quick. They weren't in the hotel. He drove to the hotel to put her body in the trunk. He just drove up there to do that. There was no other element to the hotel. He just went up there to do that. No, look at that. It's Jessica Schubach's birthday. All right. Well, Mary Lou, you have to sing birthday for Jessica Schubach.
How come?
Because she's... What do you mean, how come? She's been... She's one of the moderators. She's been here a long time.
Okay, here we go. Happy birthday to Jessica Schubach. Happy birthday to Jessica Schubach. Happy birthday to Jessica Schubach. Happy birthday to you.
What's wrong with your voice, Mary Lou?
Well, I'm smoking cigarettes, Gray.
You haven't tried the new cigarettes with Retsin? They're pretty healthy.
Hey, I'll get right on that.
You do that. All right. But, yeah, what the hell's going on here tonight, you guys? This is crazy. I mean, the video didn't get out there. This show is like we're at 30%, 32% or something. Wow. Yeah, let's see. This is where you wish I was like Vinny's show, where everybody's like, super chat, every comment they make, super chat, everybody's talking. I never have that for that here. You have laryngitis? Okay. If Jen was on meds or tired or mentally... I don't know. Is she really... Would she be... let me ask you this. Would she be guilty of neglect had Stephan Stearns not killed her that night? And they just woke up and everything was fine? And if the answer to that is no, then you can't get her be mad, add something extra because Stephan Stearns killed her. I don't think so. Yeah, you got a lot of these. So I think this is going to be one of those cases I can't cover anymore because the support on the live stream sucks, and we get the two divisive people, and all the people that are divided on the other side are not going to help support the channel, and it's just not going to work. All right? So I'm just going to have to go back to sort of the cases where we're all on the same page. That's what I've noticed. It's ridiculous. You know? I don't agree. I'm not helping tonight. Screw Gray. This one. I'm going to do something else, I guess. Maybe I'll just make videos and hopefully people watch them, but the live streams are just absolutely god-awful. Yesterday we were just reading through the documents, so that was different, new stuff. But today is just, wow. It's crazy. I mean, look at this. Look at this show tonight, you guys. Have you ever seen a slower show than this? It's just like doing the Justin Ross Harris shit. You start talking about hot car deaths and how he got screwed in that trial. And yes, he was negligent, but they gave him malice murder, which is total garbage. The I said it for years, and the Supreme Court turned it over, and they got rid of those charges. They decided not to charge him again. Then he's getting out of prison finally. Yeah, that's great. You like talking about different opinions, but look at the outcome on here, Zozo. It's horrible. Look at this. It's ridiculous. Right. Well, maybe don't you guys think I'm handsome too, Sub Rosa? I mean, I don't look as good as Vinny, but I mean, I'm not, I'm not ugly as hell. I mean, putting out is just as, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't. Look at the support on this show right here. And this should have been a good show. It's just on Court TV. I came on here, we're doing the show, and I mean, good God. Yeah, it's important, but if you're not getting supported covering a topic, then you got to do something else, okay? Isn't that sad? That's the reality of YouTube. If you come on and you're like, oh yeah, and you're just sort of firing on all cylinders, accepting all the sides as if they're all just as equally, like you agree with everything, then sure, it all works. Hey, thanks, Annabelle Roma. At least somebody thought so. Jesus. Everyone agrees? What kind of a stupid comment was that, Sam? You're just one of the trolls that show up. No, what I want is that even on nights where we're not agreeing, that people still support the channel. Yes, on a nightly basis on this channel, I try to raise super chats and support because you guys are it. There is nothing else. All right? There's no ad revenue on these shows. I've told you this 100 times. So when I do these shows, we try to bring in the funds because we do a lot of great stuff also on the side with a large portion of the income. 33% of the gross income I give away to true crime related charities. All right, and we have another DNA case so this month I'll be putting the remaining money into our DNA fund again, and we're just trying to move forward. So the truth is yes, I do try to raise funds on a nightly basis, and hopefully people want to support the channel with super chats, etc. I just hate having to ask every time. There's no reason tonight's show should be lagging along like this. It's bizarre. Yeah. And the only answer I can come up with is that 50% of you all think that Madeline Soto is an absolute monster and part of the murders. Hey, thank you. Ishi says, thanks for all you do for the victims and for organizations the channel supports. Exactly. That's the thing. That's the truth. Oh, man. So Daphne's throwing me in prison now. Holy crap. I guess that'll be the only possibility is to get the hell out of here. And so other channels, they don't seem to ever have to say something. I do have to say something. And unfortunately, and my channel actually does great stuff with a huge portion of the income. That's why we've given away $202,000 since January of 2020. Now, if you can find another channel that's given away a tenth of that, let me know in the true crime universe. But now I'm in prison and can't get out until I'm bailed out. Thank you so much. Will you be helping me get bailed out of prison, Daphne? Yeah, here we go with the other trolls showing up again. Make sure to get rid of these trolls. They just pop in one after another. And matter of fact, when I show up on Vinny's show, if I make one comment, one troll tells the rest of the trolls, and they all show up, and they start typing in horrendous comments in the chat. At least now they have moderators that remove all of them. So that's good. I guess I'll just be in prison for the rest of the night. Thanks, Daphne. Maybe you're shallow. All right. Yeah, please at least hit the like button. Yeah, hit that like button. Something. We also don't have other callers, so we're kind of in a weird place. Oh yeah, rerun? Okay, cool. Daphne threw me in prison. Yeah, well, after, like, during the show, somebody said, and I went over there, and there was people there, and I made a comment, and then I got, like, just slammed by just a couple of these same trolls that you see everywhere. They're everywhere. Thanks, Allie Cake, and Brinnis Brat, and Daphne. That's awesome. Prosecute Barry Morphew. Yeah, why not? Just this one time. Jeez, Daphne. That might get me a Snickers to give to the jail guy. You're the one that threw me in here. I don't believe Stephen Stern's parents have made any statements. Anyways, I'll just get myself out. At least that's something to get out the door. Hey, thanks, Wendy Van Rokel. Handsome Devil, love of dogs, in need of bail. Yep, well, there you go. Thank you. I didn't hear that. I did hear something about she was late on her cycle. But it sounded like she had it, her monthly cycle, 2 weeks late. Like it came later. And it's interesting that they must have asked that question, because they must have been thinking the same sort of thing that we are. Because if Madeline was pregnant, or at least she said to Stephan she was pregnant, that would have completely, that means he can't hide it anymore. He couldn't convince her of anything. Because eventually she'd be having a baby, and then people would say, whose baby is this? Or at least have to have an abortion. And whose baby is it? And it would lead back to Stephan Stern's. And that's the one scenario that really kind of makes the case. I mean, it would just be so simple and easily understandable at that point. Don't you agree? That if Madeline at least said, hey, I think I'm pregnant, you know? Or she really was, man, and he found out about it, like maybe saw the little test or something. I mean, they didn't find that, but I'm just saying. I think just her saying that would probably be enough for a guy like that. But I mean, I have entertained the idea that the first caller had, that he went there specifically because he knew that already before he got there. Hey, thank you, Marva. So he knew that already before he got there. And so he goes there with the intent, but then the planning is so bad. Wouldn't he have thought through this a little bit more? See, for me, it seems almost opportunistic. Like he's there, they're sent to bed together. How did he plan that part? How did he know that he was going to get to sleep with her that night alone? That's right, Cindy. You got that right. Or maybe Jen told Stephan Stern's that Maddie was pregnant. You think so? Brinnis Brat? I don't know. Definitely seems spur of the moment. Yeah. See, that's the thing, right? I mean, when you look at it like that, it's... If he went there intentionally to kill her, how did he get to the point where... See, and that's where you have to believe then Jen's involved, and she's the one that set him up to bed together. But why would she go do any of that stuff? I mean, I guess we don't know 100% if that really ever even happened at all. You know, we don't know 100% that they went upstairs and and Jen was downstairs. Like, nobody, I mean, that's just the story that they both told. So I can't say 100% that part, but nothing in the evidence, all the pinging information and phone information, all makes sense. Hey, thanks, Sandy Shirley, going for the $5 holler, started by Zozo back in the past. Yeah, consider joining the channel. I think we've got 3 new members tonight. Pretty cool. We had a night a while back that we got like 50, I think. But a lot of times when the memberships are given away, those people don't stay because, you know, they didn't buy it themselves originally. So some do, some don't. All right, let me see. Let's just do a poll, I guess. Was Madeline, or was Jennifer aware that all right, there's one right there. God, see, that's why it's such a poor super chat night. Look at that. That's what I'm telling you guys. Look at that right there. You're the channel that supports Jen. I'm out of here. Goodbye. I don't support Jen at all. I think Jen sucks. Okay? I just don't think she has anything to do with the killing, and nor do I think she knew anything. I think she was sort of like just one of those crappy moms that exist out there. You know, probably not unlike some of the moms that are watching the show right now who got lucky. That's not cool. I'm leaving. Oh, so you're one of the ones I was talking about then. Okay, thanks for admitting it. Yeah. Isn't that funny? Yeah. I don't know. It's at 59, 89 votes, 58 said yes, she was aware. Okay, so I'm just going to end the poll when it gets to 100. Hurry up and vote, everybody. Hurry up and vote. All right, I'll just end the poll now. So around, let's just say 58%. Okay, now, how about this one? Was Jennifer Here we go. Here we go. How about this one? Was Jennifer aware, or I meant to say, was Jennifer involved in the murder? Don't forget the word aware. I was typing in a different sentence and I forgot to remove that part. Just, was she aware of the murder? Or involved in the murder is what I meant. Was she involved in the murder? A lot of people didn't vote on the first one for some reason. All right, I'm ending the poll. So 75% of you said no, which is better, I guess. But was Jennifer aware of the murder before police started asking questions? I say no. My thing is, I think she wasn't even aware of anything like that until they arrested Stephan Stearns. That's what I think. And see, look at all these people think that she was aware and covering up for him on a murder of her own child. No way. God, isn't that amazing? No wonder. That's why I can't cover these kind. If I want my channel to be successful, you can't do it. You got to be sort of right down the middle or on the side that most people are. Then it does okay. That's crazy. 50% of you actually believe that she was aware that... I don't know. I mean, I guess it's possible. I don't see it. I don't see it. This one has 106 votes. All right. So you guys go ahead and start voting. I'm going to go make some popcorn or something. Halloween's coming, everybody. I knew that would freak you. How about this one? Wake up, everybody. Wake up. Yeah. Forgot where that music is. It this one? Oh yeah, there it is. Anyways, so that was 137 votes and 53% said no. Okay, good. So at least there's at least some rational people in here. And they're basing the fact that they believe that she knew merely because she lied about saying that she saw Madeline getting ready at 8:15 in the morning and just repeated the story. I mean, how many, don't you think that if you trusted, let me ask you something. If you were with somebody for 7 years and you trusted them and they told you what they did that morning and she disappeared, wouldn't you believe them originally? I mean, if you got 7 years, wouldn't you believe the story that he's telling you? And he might be saying like, yeah, well, we dropped her off. I mean, he dropped him off, her off at school, and just repeating the story that he said. And then eventually, he probably guilted her into maybe saying that 8:15 thing. But now it turns out that the 8:15 sighting is actually a legitimate thing. It just wasn't a sighting. It was hearing the sound in the kitchen. So it's not even, it's just kind of like a half, like visually sighting. She said she didn't see her. She just heard her and figured that was her getting ready for school. Well, is anybody else calling in? Because I don't have anything else to discuss, so we can just make it a shorter show. Plus my neck's killing me. Gotta go do something with it. But that's why I was a single parent and no one died by my hands, right? I don't know. I don't understand it. This is reminding me again of, like, it's like Sebastian Rogers again. It's like so many other cases out there where, there's no evidence in that case that the parents did anything, but everybody's attacking the Proudfoots over and over and over again. Then you got this one and Maddie and Jennifer. There's no evidence at all that she knew anything about, the murders and, what was, who the hell knows what was going on. I will say that one of my people that I interviewed a long time ago said that he wondered if, because they all slept together in the same bed, if they were doing some weird kinky stuff. He did say that, and I was like, I don't know. Jeez, I don't think almost any parent would let a kid do that. That would make her a monster. I don't see it. Yeah, I mean, how many people wouldn't know that? But you guys were at 58% right now, all right? Hello, this is Gray.
Hey, Gray, how you doing this evening?
Pretty good. Who's this?
This is Tom Adrian. I've been watching your show for a long time, and I just never have had the opportunity to call in, really.
Okay, cool. What's going on?
I just wanted to maybe get a little rebuttal on your first caller there. I think he's just basically uninformed of the facts in this case. He's probably been getting his facts from, like the Clown and people of that nature, or Slow Joe or something like that.
Yeah, probably.
Well, the way I see it is, Jen's probably not the, sharpest knife in the drawer, but what people need to realize is she's as much of a victim in this case of Stephan's,
right,
meddlings or what have you. And I'm sure she was pretty well shell-shocked. And, as we all know, two people don't react the same, to something like that. And I think she was in kind of a shell-shocked position when she was being interviewed.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, she was like shaking around, and that first one, she was kind of just shaking around a lot. Oh, shit.
Yeah, and I don't know. I've never been on psychotropic drugs or anything like that. My mental capacity's been rather stable my entire life, so I've never been having to medicated. But I do know a couple people that have been taking medications for depression, and sometimes it just makes them almost like they're emotionally just in a void or something, like they're not even there.
Yeah, no. I mean, she was totally different in two different interviews. One, she seemed a little bit more, normal. And then another one, she was just shaking all over the place. So. Yeah,
I just wanted to, your first caller there, I don't know whether he's, and I don't want to, throw names like P-Brain. I would say uninformed, or the information he has been getting, it may be coming from the, the Clown or Slow Joe, or, misinformation basically, and then they latch onto it, and like I always say, common sense isn't that common anymore.
Yeah, I think that's a reality for sure. It's like whenever I try to just sort of speak rationally, you always get pushback for.
Well, people don't want to hear that. They want to hear the sensationalism and the horse pucky, or the latest rumor.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always say, crap sells.
Well, that's true. That's true, and it does, because look at tonight.
But I the one that commented the other day about you were eating that apple, and I had to throw mine little 2 cents in there about Golden Delicious. It's always been my favorite apple.
Have you tried
But,
the? Have you done the?
Yeah,
honey?
yeah.
Okay. You've done Honey Crisp.
I've tried those. They're very good, very crisp.
I do like the Golden Delicious too. They're kind of like pear, juicy, I think.
Well, like I was saying, and then my cousin has the Guinness World Record that's held since 1980, and that was kind of a cool thing.
And what was that in again? Oh yeah, the pounds of apples picked.
Apples picked in 8 hours.
And what was the number again?
Yeah, he had to really hustle on that. It was 13,840 pounds, I think it was.
I mean, that's crazy. You probably look like a tornado just zipping through the tree.
Right? The conditions were real good. The trees that year were just full of weighted down heavy with apples. You know, if you get a good spring and you don't get any late frosts and things like that, those conditions can happen.
Yeah.
But I think your first caller, and I'm not going to harass him too much because I think he's just that's the misinformation that's being spread as truth out there, and like I was saying, common sense isn't that common anymore. And a fact that I like to and I there's a buddy of mine in Evansville, and I kind of rag him about this. 54% of all United States adults read at a 6th grade or below average. And to me, that's pretty sad.
Well, I clocked in at 7th grade recently, so I feel pretty good. I'm just kidding.
You weren't cheating, were you, Greg?
No. Yeah.
But I thought I'd call and throw in my 2 cents worth. I've never called, and I've been watching your program for a long time, and I've weeded out most of the true crime sensational stories, and whenever we're looking for facts, we try to check in with Gray and the freaks, and they seem to be pretty level-headed.
Well, there you go. Well, I appreciate that. I hear that a lot. You know, from the rational people.
Yeah, it's I don't know where some of these people, like I'm saying, common sense isn't that very common anymore. I don't know what it is they're teaching these kids in school anymore. I'm a boomer. I'm proud of it. You know, I don't have to put up with that sort of stuff. And oh yeah, that one phrase you use every now and then, the term agree to disagree. That's just so stupid.
I know. I can't do the agree to. He said it, and I almost jumped in, but I go, you know what? Let's just move on. I was already done.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, like I'm saying, I think there's a lot of misinformation that's spread out there, and these people tend to believe some of that stuff. They don't have the rational thought process that a lot of people, I think, is missing in today's society.
Well, that's for damn sure. I mean, if you just spend a lot of time on YouTube and you watch the people that flock to the sensationalism, and the crazy, you know what sucks the most for people like me, is they get supported better by they are just like, every show they do, it's just, man, they don't have to worry about anything, and I have to like claw and scratch for everything that's on this channel.
Yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. I agree with that.
It sucks, you know. It's really discouraging. It's one of those things where when I look at it, I just kind of, I don't know, just gets you disillusioned.
Yeah, I live on the far south side of Indianapolis, and we get a lot of, the Delphi case was just absolute huge news for us here, and amazing. I've been wanting to make a road trip up there, but haven't been able to do so yet.
Yeah,
I had to live vicariously through your videos that you took up there.
Well, if you just watch my shows, you'll be able to go there and know exactly where you are without any problem at all. You'd know the trails. You'd know every single thing. I've had so many people say, Gray, I went there and just was able to walk around because I watched all your videos over and over and over again.
Especially those ones with the 360 camera. That stuff's fantastic.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like the one with the drone. I wish I had gone a little bit further, but I was getting nervous about the trees overhanging. If I could get my drone back out of there, and then if it crashed, how would I get it? You know, around the corner, I wouldn't be able to get it. It'd be crazy. Now maybe I could have if I'd taken that, because there's this little deer trail off to the left, the one I showed with all the branches on the ground. That one.
Right.
That one you can
runes.
make. Yeah, exactly. Like you can make your way out by going around the corner there. So just walking around, I could make my way to the water.
Keep doing what you're doing, man. You're on the right track.
All right. Well, hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
Really appreciate it, Gray. Hey,
and what's your
all
name?
the freaks, and best to your 2 puppies there too, bro.
Well, thanks. What's your name again?
Tom Adrian.
All right, Tom.
I usually try to, as soon as you're done with lives, if I've got something to add, I usually try to put something in the comments.
Yeah, last night I did it.
Yeah, no, I was the one that come up with the Koberger, the movie.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't remember that. But
yeah, I've left a couple of those in there. And, try to add a little bit of humor to some of that stuff, because some of that stuff gets pretty dark, and you take it too seriously. Sometimes I think it can mess with your mind a little.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's true. I try to make people laugh every once in a while. Usually not at the actual case, but unless it's about the bad guy. Nobody cares if you make jokes about the bad guy, but you can't really be joking around about when there's victims, etc. So.
Yeah, I just wanted people to realize that Stearns was a slick one, and unfortunately, I think Jen got played, if you want to call it that, or she trusted him way too much. But it's just an unfortunate thing. I really feel sorry for her, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think it must have been just an absolute shock at the end when she sees that he's been doing this for a long time and he killed her. She must just feel. I mean, just picture your own life. Let's say you have this boyfriend, and you hang out with your kid, but you didn't know something, and then all of a sudden it's proven that he's, man, I can't imagine a worse thing for a mother to see, something like that.
It'd be heartbreaking.
Yeah.
All right, Gray. Hey, appreciate you taking my call, and hey, freaks, have a good evening.
All right, have a good one. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Gray. Bye.
All right, that was Tom. All right. All right, you guys. Well, that's going to do it for me tonight. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for being here. Thank you to A.S., Cindy, Lou Who, Wendy Van Rokel, Danielle, 15 months, Charisma, 28, then Danielle, then Tania Animus, 20 months, Michelle H., Tuna, Matt McLean, Bloodhounder, OCD, Bloodhounder, E.G. Moore, April Rain, Whiskey Boots, Alley Cake, Cheryl Bullock, Linda Howe, 54 months, then Linda Howe, then Michelle, then Emma Chungblut, and Annabella Roma, Georgina Stoliker, Linda Howe, Paulette Leonard, Peter Brittany, Annabella Roma, Ishi Says, Alley Cake, Bernice Bratt, Daphne, Wendy Van Rokel, Lily Rose, Marva, and Sandy Shirley. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow for whoever knows what the hell the show will be about. But anyways, thanks for being here. And as I always say, until next time. Wait, let me check one thing. Yeah, somebody did send thank you to Plato. Just had awesome job on Court TV with Vinny. So, anyways, thanks everybody. Not sure what the hell happened tonight, but be safe out there. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gregor's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector.
selector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector, fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temper fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you later.